All right, welcome back to Crypto Conan. So, Pulsechain mainnet has launched, and now our chart, it's had a few days behind it, so I'm able to read some patterns, read some price action. One thing, if you're familiar with my channel, I do not cover how to use Pulsechain. I do not make wild guesses as to what price may do. I use very precise technical analysis to summarize the best case scenario of what I think it may do. Just to qualify myself once again, on Twitter, I just want to show you a couple things that a couple calls I've made as of late. And so you can see a few days ago I called for this another sweep low of this level before we moved up, and then I'll show you on my chart. I haven't erased these squiggle lines. Move up here, and then most recently I posted this move down before we move back up. So with that being said, I will unhide my TA here. And you can see that move down, which we got the move up. And then the second squiggle I made, our dip down. So before I get into my long-term price prediction, let's just cover some short-term price action and what may happen within the next day or two. So far, I wanted to see Pulse come down and touch our 786 right here. Let's zoom in here just a little bit. You can see my 786 marked. It's this blue line right here coming in at triple aught 1283. So I would like to see this level touched. I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame here. If you can see here, on the 4-hour, we did print a gravestone doji that is a bearish pattern. Now we have formed a few moving averages now that our chart is maturing. So this one right here is our daily 50. You can see right here, this is the one I'm favoring so far to read price action. We use that as support. Once we broke and closed below it, it is now resistance. We tried to get above it and failed. So that is a swing failure right there. And you can see we used it as perfect resistance right here. So short-term wise, we got a couple patterns that may come into play. One is, like I said, I would like to see a sweep down, finish that move down, and hit that 786. Kindergarten pattern here. We do have an inverted head and shoulders forming. If something like that was to play out, of course our measured move is the length of our head, and if we were to bring that back up, that puts us at that golden line I have here at triple aught 2265. So that's something for upside. I am expecting some bullish action on this. I mean, Richard Hart projects are they've been pretty hot the last couple months, obviously. I'm still looking for just some more bullish continuation, especially off, just Richard Hart projects. So that's what I'm looking at for the short term. I think this would be a good buy zone anywhere in here if you're looking to buy. If we break below here, I would be expecting a retest at these lows. Okay, let's get into the meaty part. So before I do that, I'm going to switch to the logarithmic. Well, okay, I'm skipping ahead. Before I do that, to get a long-term projection, I use Fibonacci levels. And Fibonacci levels can compound upon themselves. And what I mean by that is I would like to just show you the hex chart. So we're going to switch over to hex. There we go. So what I mean by that is, so we had 4 Fibonacci levels stack upon each other until we got our final pull off of this. So you can see here, I'm on the logarithmic scale on this. It just fits better. So from ICO to the lows, we have our first pull, second, third, fourth. And what I've done is I've gone from low to high, which extended to our 4236, and we go 1 to 0, and we got our second pull. You can screenshot this. You can put this on your chart. Using this as an example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go back to Pulse and see what's possible. So I am going to, now this chart's going to get a little silly because we're going way into the future. So here we're going to go to our logarithmic channel or chart. Let's zoom way out. Keep in mind these are all hypotheticals, but you never know what can happen. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 poles here. I should mention this first one. You can see where I pulled my 1 to 0. Now, since the chart is so new, that's kind of hard to tell. But I pulled my 1 off of 0002038, somewhere in that area, down to our lows. All right, zoom back out. So once we reach, of course, we're going to reach that, the 4236 off of this. And if we pull our 1 off of that, and see how the chart's just compound, we pull our 1 off of that. You know, if this was to do anything like the hex chart did, and for fourth wave, our fourth pull, you know, if we were to come in at the 2618, that's a 13,000% move. If we were to happen to finish our full extension at the 4236, that's a 20,900% move. Now, what I should mention is those percentages, they're kind of hard to pull. It's really quite difficult to get precise. I mean, you can vary just by a 16th inch and it gives you a different reading. But those pulls are off our current levels. Now, if you go off our overall lows, try to get a really precise pull here, which is that golden rod trend. I mean, just to that 2618. Let's try to get it really precise here. Steady hand prevails here. You can see off the overall lows, it gives us 17,000% rather than 13,000 at our current levels. So this is just very hypothetical, but it could go way higher than this too. We could see 30,000% off of this project. I'm curious to know what you guys think. How high do you think Pulse is going to go? Or if you think my targets are way too high. I do think Richard Hart projects are do well once again, and you guys are maniacs. So I see no stronger community at the moment, and I think it's only going to grow. So with that being said, that's the end of the video. I hope you stay savage. Crypto Conan out.